Responsive design is the concept of making sure that our styles and our applications and everything that we build in our front end adapts to the screen size that the user is currently viewing our application on. This means that when I'm on a large 27-inch iMac screen, I want the application to look exactly how it should and take up the space available, but I also want the application to look perfect on a small phone screen, as well as every size in between. When I first started building my own applications, I felt like this was one of the most mysterious topics to me and one that I hadn't really seen covered in very good detail throughout my learning. Thankfully for us, Material UI actually provides a responsive design solution that is integrated with the grid system that we'll take a look at and the styling system that we've already been working with. This is going to make it really easy for us to adapt our application and our styles based on whatever screen size the user is currently at. Responsive design is a really important concept and is something that you're going to need to actually truly understand for building out all of your own applications. So that's why I thought it would be helpful for us to go over some of the responsive design concepts before we actually get into the actual code and integration. So the first thing that we'll do is clear up any of the confusion and make sure we understand the distinction between the different types of design styles and why responsive design is going to provide the best user experience. The first design style that really was used whenever the web was first invented is the fixed design style. With a fixed design, we don't actually change any of the values or styles based on screen size at all. This is because when the web was first introduced, there weren't mobile phones and there weren't tablets and there wasn't this incredible array of devices and screen sizes that we have to work with now. So back then, it was acceptable to just create the one style for your regular desktop users since that's all there was. Once we started getting some mobile devices that could access the internet, well, then we ran into a few issues. You see on the left that we have our desktop application, and it looks fine. Everything is as you would expect for a normal website. If you look on the right though, you'll see a mobile version of a fixed design application. And here you can see that we start to run into some issues. Those dark boxes on the left-hand and right-hand side of the mobile site, that indicates that you can't actually see those parts of the site, and that the only part of the site that would be visible to you on your mobile phone would be that thin cutout in the middle. This means that there's going to be horizontal scrolling, and that users are going to have to zoom in and out and navigate around the page to see all of the content. This is far from ideal, and easily provides the worst user experience out of the design styles that we'll be taking a look at. As a general rule, you want to avoid horizontal scrolling at all costs, unless it's something like an image gallery, which it makes sense to have horizontal scrolling, but traditionally on the web, on mobile devices at least, we're always used to just scrolling up and down, and if you have to move left and right and zoom in to see certain content or to see all of it, then that's really not something the user is going to expect, and so that's going to break the continuity of their experience. If you look at the very bottom of the screen, you can see that both of these applications have stylesheet.css under them. So that means that there's just one set of styles that controls the look for the application regardless of screen size. We're just serving the one set of styles, and then it's going to be rendered the same on mobile, forcing the user to navigate around in unnatural ways. This was improved upon by adaptive design. If you look at the very bottom here, you see that we have stylesheet.css under our desktop application, but on the mobile application, we have our mobile-stylesheet-1.css. You may have noticed this before while you're using the internet. If you're on your phone and you go to a site and it says like m.facebook.com or m.google.com, that means the mobile version of that website. And they're actually serving up a different version of the site with different styles tailored to those specific devices. This definitely provides a better user experience because now you can see that there's no dark parts of the application. There's nothing that the user won't be able to see or has to scroll sideways to view or zoom in and out. They'll be able to see the whole application and scroll top to bottom as is normally expected. However, one of the main drawbacks of adaptive design is that you have to create a different style sheet for all the different devices and types of screen sizes that you want to support. So this means that when bigger iPhones come out or the iPad came out, that developers had to go in and create new style sheets to support and customize the experiences for these new devices. Although it is nice that we're able to alter the look of the content on the screen, you can see the yellow boxes are much more thin here, so it's all going to fit on the mobile browser. The drawback is that it's going to become really tedious to keep up with all the devices that are out there and to keep everything updated when new devices come out. To remedy this problem, we finally landed on the modern solution to design in web applications: responsive design. If you look at the very bottom of the screen here, you'll see that we're back to just having stylesheet.css for both applications. So we're no longer having to create a separate style sheet for our mobile site versus our desktop site. This also means that we're not going to have to create a new style sheet for every different type of device that comes out, because our styles are inherently going to adapt to the available screen size without us having to manually hard code in values. This is definitely going to provide the best experience, not just for our users, because any device that they choose to view our application on is going to look perfectly normal and everything will work exactly as intended, but it also provides a better developer experience because we're not going to have to go in and create a bunch of different styles for all the different devices. So we'll just define our one set of styles, and based on those styles that we define, it will intelligently apply the correct styles for whatever device we're on.